guys, welcome back to Ari's Kitchen. So today our ingredient list is too long for me to fit in, but it is right below the video. I added a full description list for your ingredients. So here's the chicken. Here's the ingredients that we're gonna need. Bell peppers, onion, fresh garlic, green onions or scallions, chicken bouillon cubes, onion powder, garlic salt, Mrs. Dash, browning, pepper, potato, carrots. You can buy them whole, already chopped, fresh thyme, ketchup. All right. So first I am going to be washing my hands very thoroughly. Usually I don't record this, but every now and again I'm just going to record myself washing my hands just in case I have any new followers or visitors coming through, so they can know that I do wash my hands very well before every video, and also several times while I am cooking. Usually when I'm making home cooked meals, I like to use my hands, but if I'm cooking for somebody else, I do tend to use gloves because it just makes people feel more comfortable. All right, so first I'm gonna be pulling off the skins of the chicken. So this chicken kind of gave me a run for my money, guys. I didn't think it was gonna be I didn't think it was gonna be this tough. I was really fighting with this chicken every now and again. But and I don't know why, I just didn't want to be so rough with it. But yeah, you guys just pull the skin off the chicken. The last few, I actually just pulled it off instead of cutting the rest of it off. And so I'm just sliding the knife across the top because there's usually a layer of slime on there. You slide it towards either end of the chicken, and then you cut it off with the fat. Pretty much, that's the easiest way to go about it for me. So gonna keep. And then I'm going to be cutting the chicken kind of into 3 or 4 pieces. These chicken thighs are pretty big, so 3 or 4 pieces. And I didn't cut the bone for the first few, but the last few pieces, that's not on camera. But I did end up cutting the bone with a thick butcher knife. Don't really try it unless you have a lot of brute strength, because it took a few chops. I don't usually cut the bone, but again, I'm sliding the knife across the top just to get that slimy layer of film down, get it towards the end, and then I cut it off with the fat. I cut that one into 3 pieces. Just pull the skin, cut it off. Get that slimy layer off towards the edge. Then I'm going to cut the edge off. And just repeat. Just repeat. All right, so now I'm gonna be cleaning the chicken. So just running some warm water, and I'm gonna be adding some white vinegar now. There it goes. And usually you just wanna rub the chicken, make sure the slimy film is off, swirl it around, and pretty much pour the water out. I was kind of distracted. I don't know why I didn't pour the water out immediately, but yeah. You make sure it's clean, pour the water off, make sure it's clean, pour the water off. Don't let the chicken sit in the water. And there we go. I shortened the video a bit because it was very long. And now we're going to wash our hands again, of course, because we're going to be dealing with the vegetables pretty soon. This is how the chicken looks just after it's washed and patted dry. Now we're going to be adding our seasoning. That was the chicken bouillon cube. I added it first just for a little extra flavor. But I'm also going to add another one at the end. Adding garlic salt now. All right, here is Mrs. Dash in the yellow bottle. And I don't really have measurements, but I usually just go across, back. Onion powder, black pepper, complete seasoning. You guys know I love my complete seasoning, but I also use a bunch of every other seasoning as well. This is thyme. I couldn't find any fresh thyme, but I would strongly suggest fresh thyme. And I'm going to be adding the browning. Right now, I'm just going to mix it all together. Make sure it's very well combined or very well incorporated. Mix it very well. As you can see, didn't need a lot of browning. And set that to the side. So now we're going to be chopping up our vegetables. The garlic should be diced really small, of course. Just cut it the long way first, or either cut it horizontally and then dice it up. Dice it up just like that. All right, next we're going to be chopping our onion. This is our scallions or our green onions, guys. Just chopping just like that. Get it all in a bunch and just chop it down together. That's the easiest way to do it. And for these scallions or green onions, you can chop it down all the way to the white part. I stopped kind of early because I had way too many. Chop, chop. There we go. Okay, so you guys use russet potatoes. Use the brown potatoes. I use this one because I already had this one because I used it to cook something else. I forgot. And also I had a minimal amount, so I only used one. But you guys use russet potatoes or brown potatoes. Just peel all the skin off. If you have a peeler, it's much easier. Sometimes I use a peeler, sometimes I use a knife. I don't know. Just whatever I'm in the mood for. And this is how I like to chop potatoes. You guys can go halfway and chop them, but not all the way through. And then you can go back and chop the other way. That's pretty simple. Pretty easy to do. So I'm just continuing to chop up my potatoes. We want them in kind of medium pieces like these, so they're easy to eat. But if you want to do them a little bigger, you can. I just did them small because I had a small potato. Just put those to the side. Now we're going to work on our bell peppers. So this time I chose to cut the bell peppers down the middle. And then I'm going to cut the inside out like this. Go up, up, and go down like in a V. And just pull it all out. Go up, up, and down the front like a V. Just pull it all out. All right, then we're gonna chop vertically. Chop, chop, chop. And the other half, we're gonna do the same thing. Chop them all vertically or the long way. All right, then you grab a bunch, turn them all to the side, and you're gonna chop them horizontally or sideways. So that way you have nice little blocks. Not too big, not too small. Grab them all in a bunch and chop them all sideways now. If you miss a few, just go back and cut those few that are elongated or too long. And voila. So now we're gonna add our vegetables into our seasoned, that is our chicken that has been seasoned already, excuse me. Now, I don't know why I had this bowl that was too small, but I refuse to change bowls. So this is why you see me doing it like this. Just mix that in very well. Mix it in very well. I forgot to say, before you do this, guys, you can get a Dutch pot or a pot of your choosing, heat it up, and get it ready because we're about to put the chicken in the pot. But keep mixing. Make sure it's all very well mixed together. I'm just bringing some of the chicken to the forefront because I had a lot of vegetables on top. Because once again, my bowl was too small and I refused to change it. And there we go. All the vegetables, everything is nicely mixed together. There we go. That's how it should look. At this point, this is how it should look. So this is my Dutch pot. I heated it up right before I started mixing. I just poured in about 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Now I'm gonna start adding my chicken. So we want to brown the chicken on each side for about 5 to 10 minutes. So you're gonna add all of your chicken to your Dutch pot or whatever pot you have without the vegetables. And we want to brown it for 5 or 10 minutes. This is how it looked, and I added some more. Then I added some more to make sure all of my chicken is in there at the same time. And there we go. This is the last of it. Or rather, this is the last of it. All right, so after 5-10 minutes, I am flipping them all over so it can brown on the other side. Oh, and I'm sorry, the stove should be on medium heat. Medium heat. For me, that's a 5. That's right in the middle. So medium heat. After it is done for these 5-10 minutes on the second side, then you want to go ahead and cover the pot. But I might be jumping the gun here, but. So while that's going, we want to go ahead and start washing our rice. Of course, make sure you wash your hands before you start doing this. So I'm rinsing my rice. I use 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of, I'm going to be using 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water. So just make sure you rinse it, fill it up with water, pour it out, fill it up with water, pour it out, fill it up with water, and pour it out until the water is almost clear. That's just to get that residue that you have on the rice. Once you rinse it, you're going to see it's a bunch of white stuff that comes off the rice. So this is my 4 cups of water. I always salt the water, or usually I try to always salt the water. Once it gets to a roiling boil like this, we want to add in the 2 cups of rice. So also I'm going to be adding about 3 pieces of butter. 3 pieces of butter. I was kind of fighting with the butter right here, so that's why. Kind of fighting with the butter, so that's 3 pieces of butter in there. And then I'm just gonna add some Italian seasoning. Italian seasoning is just rosemary, thyme. So that's why, and it tastes really good. Now you can use any kind of rice that you choose. You can use jasmine rice, parboiled rice, long grain rice, but I use parboiled rice. All right, now back to our chicken. This has been after about 15 minutes of cooking with the top on. So after those 15 minutes, you're gonna add your vegetables. Add all the remaining vegetables to the pot. I added another 2 cups of water. I'm sorry, 1 cup of water. And I added ketchup. I don't really like tomatoes, so I use ketchup as a substitute. But for you guys, it's either way. If you like tomatoes, then you can dice up some tomatoes and use that as opposed to the ketchup. When I was adding the other seasoning, I should have added my brown sugar. I like my brown stew with a little sweetness, so I always add brown sugar. So you're gonna see me add it in a few minutes, but you guys can add it early on. Stew is gonna come out amazing. Your family's gonna love it, or you're gonna love it. I'm just mixing, making sure it's well combined, well incorporated. Oh yeah, that looks delicious. Oh yeah. And as you can see, guys, I'm adding the brown sugar very late in the game. This is almost done cooking. So after you add the ketchup and the extra water, you're gonna let that cook for about 20 more minutes, and then it's gonna be done. And this is how it should look at this point, you guys. So the rice, make sure you cover the pot and let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, this brown stew just looks so good. It looks like heaven in a pot. They're gonna be calling you chef. Watch, they're gonna be calling you chef. This is how the rice should look, guys, with the holes in the top. That's how you know it's done. And subscribe. Follow my Facebook at Ari Kitchen, or follow my Instagram at ari.kitchen20. Until next time, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.